Now, you might wonder, can people learn this? They should be able to, right? The problem is, you're pretending you're not worthy to share it with one another either, right? See, the problem is, when you sell something, it's like you're making it a secret doctrine, right? And you don't want other people to understand it. Now, fruit applies to humans, cattle, vegetables, and fruits themselves, right? Okay, do you understand? And any creature that reproduces, right? It don't just be medley, right? It's all things that reproduce, right? The fruit of their body too, right? Is through sex. Is through sex. And then you're like, well, why do you talk about it at the time? Well, you're a sexual creature. That you're denying too, right? Do you understand? When you lie, the biggest lie is that you're sexual. And John, what the freak is this going on about this eating shit program, right? You can't force 44,000 Jews to be celibate. That's crazy, I know. What the hell you doing, man? Right? It's not better to be celibate or married, but whatever, right? Now, here's a kicker. They can have one life, at least. Oh, no, right. From their virginity. Or are you just looking at the barrenness of some women? What's going on? What's going on? Right, right. I mean, your problem is you're still judging, right? Like those of the old, right? You're not supposed to do that anymore, John. I went into despair. You went into despair, right? And you're only helping Satan out to loop it back to him, right? And then he can sin again, John, right? If you resurrect the just and the unjust within 1,000 years apart, right? And the earth has been made, right, right. 2 of the days aren't necessary. Damn. Only 4. Or, right, right. When God said that there be light, there was light. When God said, that's why the first day is hidden from us. Even if it was 1,000 years, million years ago. They said the universe is billions of years old. And the Earth's about a quarter of it. A third of that. But why does something go in and out, right? We're also in a different galaxy, right? Who knows what God did before us or after us? And 2/3 of the heaven is still on God's side, right? Probably here as well. And 1/3 is on Satan's side. Are we in the third that's on Satan's side? Right, probably, right. Does that make sense? Right, right. Well, so I'm talking about aliens or beings from another realm or even time travelers, you know what I mean? Right. Here's a concept. What if our own forefathers traveled back in time because they ran out of women or something? I don't know. Right, right. And try to have sex with women back like that way, right? Like in Fry or, shit. If you remember Futurama, right, right. Fry had sex with his grandma. Shit. His old grandma. His old grandma. Back in 1945 for sure. For War II. But, I mean, that's the problem with time travel, right? We don't know what we're doing here. And, you know, that's become another problem in the future. I don't know. I don't know. See, we're trying to change things, right? Problem with that is you already did in a way. Right? But you created that movement, right? Uh, and a time warp. Remember during the time warp. Right. We done did the time warp. That's the problem. Once you do something in the past, present, and future, it's always part of the past, present, and future, right? And then you can't distinguish one from the other, right? Right. Well, that's the problem with time travel, right? Even evil people can time travel, right? Or good, or good. You have to monitor yourself, or something has to monitor you for it, right? But if we learn how to do it, once we learn how to do it, which did we? Did we? You can't think. They're seeing some kind of vehicles all the way back, right? To before Jesus, right? Even the technology of certain sites is way advanced for man, but angel technology, we don't even have a clue what that means, right? See, like Adam, they're made as an adult, not a child. They're not born like Jesus was, right? Or we are, right? That's why he became as one of us, right? Not them, though, right? They were adult human beings, but probably hermaphroditic too. Where do you think the gene comes from? See, if the majority of the species is male and female, and there's a few hermaphrodites, that means the gene was sexually, right? Into the gene pool, right? And you're like, why are you sexual? Saying, well, we're sexual, right? To deny that is to lie that on your maker, which is what Isaiah is talking about, right? You're denying your father, your maker, right? And mother side of God, right? You're trying to make it father only. That's a sin. That's a sin. Did it not make male and female? Well, who's your mother and father? God, God, right? Above, equally. That's what you won't get either. Then you try to put the female down, or you want her under your thumb, or your slave, and your little maid servant, right? Who you hump behind your wife's back, right? Right, Arnold, right. Heard about that too, right. Now I forgive you, like I said, in the grand scheme of it, right. And see, that's the thing. She don't have to forgive you as far as you and her, but she can forgive you in the religious sense that hey, I understand you did that in the past, but we're not going to stay together either, right? That's our choice. That's our choice. She can also divorce you, right. Now women can divorce you, though. You don't like that either, do you? Right? Moses kind of did say that, but didn't say that, right. Though she can divorce you too, though. I think, and even in Islam, the woman can still divorce the man, right. Now, once you're divorced, though, you're not to go back. Right? That's another thing, right? Now, another thing is, how do you know there's an O between L and H in Elohim, right? Why do you add the O? Right. You do know low means no. No. I know. Should it be Elohim? Right. I'm asking, right? Mm-hmm. Is there a vowel point between the Y and the M? No. So why is there one between the L and the H? Right. L itself is the first vowel point under the Aleph. Right. Alright. Then L. Right. Then H. I. Y. M. No, two of the letters don't have a consonant, right? I mean, a vowel point and vowel points. The Y, the M, and the L, and the H. Right. When you're saying Elohim, it's pluralizing itself. The Y is for her, and the M is for him. Right. Oath for the female, the W is for the male, the TH the female. Right. You see what I mean? He is she, in the Hebrew. Who, our word hello, or who are you? Who are you? He is you, right? is also what you're saying, right? So, ooh, th. And again, no vowel point between the W and the TH either, right? Either, if there is a vowel point, it's either oath or ooh, right? See, that's another thing. You might not be using the correct vowel point there because it does go to the masculine. Ooh, ooh, ooh. He, right? Is he, she, right? Now, the Lord is who, or he who the he, right? What does that mean, right? One, a God, right? He who, a God, who the he and she. Then he's three. Two appeared with him while he spoke to them, right? So one's Yolda, right? One's Ish, and he's Gabor, right? That's in your Bible too. They're still in that too, right? Now, why are you sealing it? Nobody's being worthy to tell it to each other. That's the sealing part of it, right? You're being either smart ass about it or do this. I'm too unlearned to understand it, or I know it all, but I won't tell you that. It's sealed. It's sealed. That's what you're saying. That's what you're saying. I can tell you whatever else you want to know in the Bible, but not these particular topics, right? I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with it or explain it to you, right? That's what you're doing, right? And is that lying to each other? Yeah, Basically, if you're denying it means something else, Fashad Melikim ain't talking about royals with breasts, right? But kings with breasts, right? And men can have breasts if you're a hermaphrodite, right? And then you're the seed of a woman, right? You're a woman who can have children with me. A woman or a man. If you got a womb, though, that's part of the problem, too. Human hermaphrodites get kind of, mixed, right? They have ovotestes, which is either an ovary or a testes. Does that make sense? Yeah, it does. Actually, it does. I know. And here's the problem about saying you're non-binary. Only asexual organisms are non-binary, right? Well, that means it's two made you, right? Only amoebas are single-cell organisms that simply divide are non-binary, right? Well, viruses kind of reproduce by attaching to a cell, but it's still one virus, ain't it, right? That might be something non-binary, right? So, amoebas and the crystal life form they found out about, right? They didn't know about that either, right? Ancient aliens or unexplained, right? Good little Shatner, right? All right, those things are non-binary, right? You're binary, right? Just to tell you the truth about that. Now, you can say you're non-binary, I will, right? And that's okay, I'm not judging you, right? But one makes more sense than one don't, right? Well, can you say something just to say something? Yeah, that's the problem, right? Now, Jesus also said every idle word, right, shall be judged one day, right? Not because of him, but because of the great white throne judgment, right? So you're not non-binary, you're binary, right? You're saying it like it's true. It's not true. You can't make something up and call it the truth, right? Only one single cell organism, right? Are non-binary, right? Because they can reproduce themselves without sex, right? They simply divide into another of its own kind, right? No sex involved, But they're also real small life forms, right? They're not the top, right? Now, here's how it kind of seems to go, though. Most are either male or female, or reproductive, a few asexuals and then hermaphroditic too, like the snail, the earthworm, right? They're also more non-vertebrates, right? Right. Now, the angels, of course, if they make a human body, have to make it as an adult, not a child. And it's still kind of like an avatar to them, right? Right. A human representative of them, right? Right. And I don't know what happens to their angelic side, right? If they become the being and the terrestrial. Because, you can't really, you know, leave heaven to come to earth, can you? But what I'm thinking about is, see, you got limbo, right? Right, a place in between um, heaven and hell, right? Right, in Catholic mythology, right? Right. Well, there has to be some kind of realm between heaven and earth too, where the angels leave their former body behind, right, and become human, right? Right. Right. Because you can't be. I don't know if you can be both at the same time, but is it one or the other? I don't know. Right. Right. See, the problem is when Jesus is talking about children, he says, their angels do see my Father's face, right? Well, your angel is your celestial side, you're the terrestrial side, right, right. That's part of the problem too. And two make up the angel's true form, right? Not one or the other or the other. That's why he said don't make graven images, male or female, or that they that make them are like unto them, cause Satan died to kill us, right, right. Well, when you die, you're just an empty husk of a human being, right, right. Your spirit left your body, and without the spirit, you're dead. You're dead, and you're a statue or you're an idol yourself, right, right. You're just made from the dust of the earth. There are certain matters in the earth made our bodies by God forming the body, idiot, right, right. Starting with probably the bones, right, with their marrow, right, right, and then the sinew and muscle, right, right, and then like in even the fifth element, right, the skin, by exposing it to what? Sunlight, right, ultraviolet, right, ultraviolet. See, that's not totally wrong. It's kind of showing how we could have been made in a way, and that's where you got to start with the skeleton, right, right. Then the sinews, the muscles, and the organs, and the right, 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 all that, and also in a form, right, right. The female, if she's underneath the male, is formed first, right, and then the male who's on top of her is formed last, right. If you understand what I mean, right. And usually you go bottom to top anyway, right, right. So that's another mystery. Does the first shall be last and the last shall be first apply to Adam and Eve, right? Eve will be more dominant in the form than Adam, but it's the male mind of Satan probably that's more rebellious than the female mind of Satan. We don't know. We don't know. Or they're equally rebellious, right? That's the problem too. She's hating him and he's hating her. They're sharing team bud. Right? Think about it that way. And that's why James talks about double-mindedness, right, of Satan, right. Well, if you're divided within yourself, and the female's hating the male, and the male's hating the female, and they're in the same body, well, that's a problem. That's a problem. You understand, right? And they're not going to tell you this in Sunday school class. They're not worthy to tell you, right? No man is, right? But who? Jesus and me, Jesus and you, right? And it's about fulfilling scripture, right? You won't do it yourself, so someone has to do it eventually, at least in the spirit of one for all and all for one, right? That's what it's kind of done in too. That's why Jesus had to do it too, right? He did it with the disciples first and showing them mainly the symbols of the old, right? Which is what I'm showing you too, right? But can God make you tell somebody? No, that's the problem, right? Free will works that way. You're not a robot, but you're lying to each other when you don't tell the truth, right? If there's parts to the whole, right? Two parts make a whole, right? Right. And you're both from one form, right? You were both in the form, idiot. If something's in you and it was taken out of you, it's part of your body, right? Can't take something out of something else is in something, right? Right. 50-50, 50-50. So then you're sharing the first form, and man has so condemned the idea because of Satan, which is where his lie comes in, right? He's lying to you, he's male or female himself, but he's both in one body, right? Right. But their mind is divided as if they're two, right? They're not one mind and one accord like Jesus wants us to be, right? It says all this in your scriptures too, but you're not applying it, right? For some reason, right? It's like you're waiting for us to come and do it for you, and we don't have to do it for you to help Jesus save us all, man, right? Right. And that's all I'm trying to do here, right? I keep telling you that too, right? There's a calling, there's a reason there's the two witnesses anyway, and the male at least stands before the throne of God in heaven. The female might see a footstool in a garden or something. I don't know. I don't know. It might be more told in a dream. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just giving a suggestion there, right? Right. But there again, I don't know who she is or where she's at, and I'm stuck in Georgia, so I'm just trying to wait for the right female too. That's what you're taught. Well, one of the hardest things though is waiting for the right person. You don't know who it is, right? I don't judge any woman, even if you have babies with another man or whatever, that can happen too, right? Right. But see, I don't force you, right? And I do oral or I do things to make you feel like you're nothing before me or after me matters, but us being together when we're supposed to be together, right? Right? You know what I mean? Right. If you're the one for me, right? Even if you're not the one for me, you just want the fun, right? Or to get over something else. Even right, even rape isn't your choice, right? Right. That's what I mean, right? Right. I'm not saying I know. I'm saying I'm suspicious, like with Kim Kardashian incident, right? Now you know the gambler says they took turns at Becky or one of them, the card of the county, right? There were three of them. There were three of them, right? I know. Now, if they threatened him with giving her lately or something, right? They don't, right? Just threaten you, right? But they'll say, "Well, we get out, we'll come after your whole family, right?" And trust me. Don't take 40 minutes to find nothing else is in the apartment, right? But there are five of them. 8 minutes apiece. 8 minutes apiece. Think about it, right? And she is told to just tell you they had her in the bathroom for 40 minutes. Bullshit, motherfucker. You raped that girl. I know what you did. I'm not dumb. I know. Fucking coward of the county, you coward. But no one wants to know that, not even Kim herself, right? Also gives them bragging rights in a way. Oh, we all five did her, but you can't say that, right? I seen the Clockwork Orange motherfucker. Though mainly it was the lead character, right? Right, right. Of course, they didn't show it, right? The rape itself. And then he picked up the two girls at the store, the record store, right? They had a menage a trois there, right? Almost look real. That real Malcolm? Right. Looks like you're out the blonde and the brunette. At one point, you know. But it's okay, I'm cool with it. Then you also do Caligula, and that was real raunchy, they say. I don't know. But like I said, it's a movie And it involves sex or whatever, right? Yeah. Mm. And then the treatment part, right? uh, I don't know. Right. I don't know. Couldn't even look at a half-dressed woman and touch her. Right, right, right. So you still could do certain things. That's kind of odd, right, right. But he would get sick whenever violence was involved. So right, right. Well, he picked up the other two women. Could you do that anymore? I don't know. I don't know. See, that's the problem too. It's violence. He's not supposed to do. Does that mean he can't ask permission for sex? That's what I mean. That's what you mean. See, I'd ask Kim Kardashian if he wanted me to make love to her, and then I was sure how a real man does it when because that ain't her fault. I'm still treated like a virgin on prom night, you know what I mean? Just saying. I don't think he'd be interested in the point, right? It's not her fault if all five of them had 8 minutes with her, right, right? You know what I mean? Right? And they're gonna threaten her like in a right, right. They'll kill her whole family. That's what they do. That's what they do. And what are they looking for? They know there's nothing else there but whatever they got right within the first few minutes. And usually you leave as fast as you came in, right? So if you got 40 minutes to kill, there's five of them, right? And there were three of them with Becky, right? In Colorado County, right? And I'm telling you, she was raped. She was raped. They raped her. This way it's not. Right, right. It's not. Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. They kept her in the bathroom tied up, right? Don't take 40 minutes to ransack that place. You do that within five or less or this, right? The first few minutes, and there's five people, they can already know there's nothing there, but can't. You. And it's not your fault, Kim, right? Well, some people do that, right? Mm. And you hate that people can rape people, but you can, right? Right. And it don't take 40 minutes for 5 men to ransack an apartment, right? Right. Or a motel room, whatever it was, right? Right. Not 5 men, not 5 men, but it does take 40 minutes to have sex with him, right? One apiece, one apiece. Well, she just did a blowjob, but either way, that's still rape. That's still rape, right? And they don't want her talking about it, right? That adds to their sentence, right? Luckily, they didn't murder her, right? Right. And of course, the leader goes first, and then the others pick straws or something, right? Right. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, right? Right. Do you take 40 minutes when you know nobody's around? Yeah. So they're not going to tell you, and Kim can't tell you, dumb Paris police, right? Frenchman, right? You know better, you know better. That's what I mean, right? That's why I said something pretty much right away, too. Once I heard about it and that they had her for 40 minutes, I knew something was off, right? Right. I'm thinking of Clockwork Orange, right? They raped her, they raped her. And told her not to say that, and they would kill her whole family, right? Her mother, her sister, everybody, even Bruce, I guess, right, right. Usually what they do. And I'm trying to tell you because she can't. Because she can't. And 40 minutes is more than enough time to do it All five of them 8 minutes apiece, 8 minutes apiece, right? And you wreck the apartment in the first 3 minutes, right? So whatever, I mean. But think about it. They're there with her alone. She's naked. And she can't say nothing, even though they're in prison. They can get out and go after her own family, right? Right. Right. Mm-hmm. And Pink Panther don't come to mind when you think of 40 minutes, right? Right. Clockwork Orange does. Clockwork Orange. Or Coward of the County. Or Coward of the County, right? But, see, again, what's he gonna do, right? See, statutes of limitations kind of applies too. That's the problem, right? Too. But that's why I said, well, wait a minute, that's 40 minutes, right? That don't sound right. And they just put you in the bathroom in the tub or something. They humped you. 1 in 10. Like in Coward of the County, like in Coward of the County, or like Orange, right? Or the Bible itself. Hell, the half brother raped the half sister, and right. But that's what I mean, right? You're supposed to tell your sister no, but right. What do you do whether they do it or not, right? You know, you're kind of telling them the truth, but you could also say Abraham and Sarah were half brother and sister, right? But I don't recall that, right? Like I said, I'm staying where I'm supposed to stay, even with Shonda. I stopped, right. At the appropriate time, but we never got undressed that I recall, right. We never went in that direction at all. Either one of us, right. But the point is, you could, right, have sex with your sister, right? But we learn moral laws because you can't stop that particular act, right? So you're told by Moses to follow these laws, as including sleeping with your relatives, right? Your aunts, your uncles, no, right? Cousins used to be allowed up to first cousins, right? Second or third was kind of questionable today, right? But that's science saying that, right, too. There's a reason, right. You're not to sleep with a cousin or close kinsman, right. Anymore, right. Plus, we're further from the sin, right. We're living between under 120 years, really. Most of us aren't even close to that, right. Except a few people in Japan or something, right. Okay. Have a good day.